And for today's task, you're going to be using an online simulation tool to explore density. Density is the metric quantity defined as the amount of matter in a given amount of space. It is derived or calculated using the formula mass divided by volume. The units of measurement for density are grams per cubic centimeter or grams per milliliter, depending on whether you used a ruler or a graduated cylinder to find the volume of the object. Different substances have different density, so density is often used as a method to identify a material. Comparing the density of two materials can also predict how substances will interact. Water is used as the common standard to substances, and it has a density of 1 gram per milliliter or 1 gram per cubic centimeter. When an object is placed in water, the object's relative density determines whether it will float or sink. In this simulation, you will practice getting the mass and volume of objects. You will use a balance to find the mass and practice using water displacement to find volume. You will note whether the object sinks or floats. Finally, you will manipulate the mass and volume to see what happens when one is larger or smaller than the other. So what you're going to do, and Ms. Thomas is going to take over, she's going to introduce how you're going to use this digital simulation. She'll show you what it looks like and show you what you are expected to do to fill in this worksheet here. This worksheet will be posted on Teams. And now let's turn it over to Ms. Thomas.
Hi guys, we are trying to show you how to use this little SimBucket. So the first thing that you have to do is when you get to this page, you're actually just going to click on this picture, okay? And when you do, then you open up the SimBucket. So the first thing that we want you to do is we want you to turn the fluid into water, because water is a fluid that we use for comparison purposes for volume a lot. So when you do that, you can see that it's 1 gram per milliliter, nice and easy. So you're going to take each of these objects that are down here and you are going to be dropping them into this bucket. Okay, we want to make a note of what the original volume was and what the final volume is when we do that. So I'm going to click on the gold and you can see it dropped a piece of gold in. Now this is the final volume right here, 27.6, and we want the original volume. So I'm just going to drag it up a little bit. 25.5 dropped. 25.5. Oh, dropped. Okay, so there's my original volume and there's my final volume. And you record those in your data table. Then you're going to grab the gold and you're going to drop it onto the scale. Okay, and that will give you the mass of the gold. So the mass of this gold is 40.53 grams, and you're going to record that in your data table as well. Then you use the two numbers and you calculate your density. And density is your mass divided by the change in the volume. Okay, then you're going to go through and you're going to do lead, foam, ice, iron, wood, rubber, and an unknown material. When you finish, you're going to come up here and you're going to hit the reset button. Reset. So now I have that red cube again. Okay, but I also want to flip it back to water. So I'm going to click the turn the fluid into water. And your job is to use these riders down here that say mass and volume. And we've given you some instructions. So it says make the mass big and the volume small. So you move the blue dot over and the red dot over. Then it says to flip-flop that. And then it says to make them equal. So you'll put the red and the blue dot in the same location. So that is the basics of how that activity works for you today, and go have some fun and calculate density.
Hi everybody, I hope you enjoy the lab. Make sure to submit it after you're done. Enjoy!